Hi everyone, it's Angus Campbell here. It's Thursday, the 6th of February 2025. Where does the time go? Well, it's been a little while because I think the last video I published was just before New Year. So what's been going on? Well, I've had a bit of a break. It's been cold, obviously, and damp in January, still is now, so nothing much has been going on with respect to the power set, but what I've been concentrating on is liaising with Greg and shippers to finally get the Jubilee Bonneville back over to its owner, together with quite a few spares and bits and pieces that Greg's purchased off me as well. And they're all being picked up tomorrow. So I'm finally back in the garage after bits of admin and odds and ends to prepare the Bonnie for its departure. But I thought I'd take the opportunity really to get back online and to give you a bit of a stable update and some idea of the plans for this year. Also, what's been happening in January this year is that I've been concentrating on my health a bit and getting quite a bit fitter, as well as receiving consultations and treatments from the NHS in getting the old joints stabilised a bit, which we've now done. So let's finally kick off this year today. But that's not before yet another lengthy trip I'm going on. Beginning next week, I'll be away for a month or so, primarily attending a family wedding over in Australia, but doing a bit of holidaying either side of that with family. But anyway, I'm well. I hope you are too. Probably the best I've felt for maybe nearly 3 years, sort of musculoskeletal wise, feeling quite well, been doing quite a bit of gym work, so yeah, feeling a lot stronger and fitter until probably the next joint flare up, but there we are. Right, let me take you around the bikes here, because as you can see we're a bit short of space in the garage at the moment, so I'm sat here in a sea of power set. Well, obviously, except for the Bonnie over there, which we'll call the power plan. And there's a couple of bikes that aren't here that are still over in the remote storage down the road, and that's those are the two oiling frame singles, the B25SS and the B50SS. But I'll come to them after we've done these two. Let's have a walk around these anyway, and then I'll sit down again and give you some idea of the plans this year and some of the things we'll try and focus on. Right, tucked away, I was going to say in the corner, but it's actually at the front of the garage, but squeezed in, the Aerial 3. Well, all we need to do with that really is get some miles on it and pump the tyres up. Other than that, it was running well, and you'll probably remember that the last big job we did on this was to clean out the fuel system, if you like, and also line the fuel tank and do a bit of other bits and pieces of tidying up. But that's all done. And one thing that I wanted to do last year we didn't manage to do, and I'm not going to give away what it is, but it's just to have a bit of fun and do a trip on this for what it was originally intended, but I'll give no more away because that's still the intention for this year. Then in front of it we've got the A70. Again, we did use that a little bit last year, and you'll have seen it primarily probably in a video of Founders Day. Did we take it anywhere else after that. No, I don't think we did. But anyway, we'll probably give it a little bit of a service. We need to get some more miles on it. But at Founders Day, it ran very, very well, actually. So we did quite a bit of it there with riding around, and especially in the ring. But we need to do an awful lot more. But other than that, you know, nothing detrimental to report, other than that maybe we might have to clean out the carbs, but we'll see. So that's good. Right, Rocket 3. Now, used this quite a bit last year. We went to the Mallory Park, run out, did quite a few runs out on it as well, went to the Oakley bike meet. So got quite a bit of footage of it at various events. But it started to run a little bit rough towards the end of the year. And it seems as though the left-hand pot's playing up again. So it's always required an awful lot of choke to start this bike. And it's never started, you know, like many of the triples that you see, you know, quite easy starters. Tons of choke, takes a long while to warm up before you can take choke off. Well, now if you do take choke off when it's warmed up, it's running a bit rough on the left-hand pot. But I'm pretty confident it's just going to be addressed with a bit of a service, really. You know, tappets, timing, and you know, carbs stroke fuel mix. I'm confident that the pilot jet's not blocked on the carb. I've checked all that out the last time I had a look. So probably just a good service, primarily on the ignition side, and probably the tappets, and I think we'll be okay. Now then, the Roadster Fury. Well, this is obviously the best bike in the collection because I never have to do anything to it because it doesn't run. So we'll just make sure we keep that cleaned up and looking respectable in its original unrestored state. And we'll hopefully have it out and about at 1 or 2 shows this year. And then finally, in the garage here, we've got the Fury SS, and those that have been following this know that we've got the timing job to do on this, which I still haven't done yet, but it has been, we were messing about with shows in the autumn, because obviously these two get requested all the time. And since then, December is a bad month for me because I always get, you know, pretty demotivated and depressed a little bit because you know, the days are drawing in and you're getting into winter, and I just find it, I just want to get December out the way and into the new year and into January, and then I start perking up. And as I say, this January been a bit sort of tied up with health-wise, getting healthy, which has happened, and also making arrangements for getting rid of the bonnie. So those are just excuses, but once the bonnie departs tomorrow, then we'll have a bit of space, and it'll either be the Fury on the bench next or the Rocket 3 for ignition timing on the Fury and general service on the Rocket 3. And once that's done and we get a bit organised in here, then we can start thinking about the other two, and that's the B25 SS. I'll try and put a pic nearby just to remind you. And that was running well, used it a bit last year at a few events, attended some BSA Owners Club events on that, riding it there. So that was going well, but the primary focus being to tidy it up cosmetically. So we managed to do a dummy paint run on one of the side panels to recreate sort of flamboyant blue with a bit of success. So we need to actually recreate that on the rest of the bike. It could also do with some new rims. as well. So, you know, when I get back from my my trip in March, then might consider putting the wheels in for rebuild and get the hubs done properly as well, which you can get done at the same time. So that might be, you know, a worthwhile job on that, especially if we're tidying up cosmetics. And then we'll get on to the old B50SS, which I've done nothing to, but before we get stuck into, you know, a full restoration of that, which is the plan in with a dove grey frame and the flamboyant red, then we might do a first start on that to get it running in the state that it's in, just to check out the basics of the motor. One, make sure it does run, and two, that there's no strange noises coming from it, and it doesn't smoke like a chimney. So there we are. Other than that, they're looking a bit dull, aren't they? But yeah, it is a bit of condensation. It's a little bit warmer in here today, and I've been having the heater running a bit, so they're looking a little bit dull. But I'll leave the heater on just to air this lot a little bit. I've had the back door open, and I shouldn't have done that really, but anyway, that's my fault. Right, let's put this back on the stand, and then I'll give you a quick update with respect to events this year. Right, events this year. So what we're looking at first is Stafford International Classic Bike Show last weekend in April. I think 26th, 27th of April, 27th, 28th, something around about there. I think the BSA Owners Club will have their usual stand there, and towards the end of last year I was asked after the NEC Classic Motor Show whether I'd be willing to display a couple of bikes on the BSA Owners Club stand at Stafford in April, and I've said yes, so that's in the diary. Not had any more conversations or dialogue with the BSA Owners Club yet, but I'm sure I'll be contacted at some point. So we'll definitely be there. I'll take a couple of bikes on the trailer, but I don't know which ones yet. Maybe we'll do a poll in the community tab and see which ones you suggest to take. Anyway, that's a thought. Following that, I'm attending a rally with friends in France, sort of May the 9th-ish, and it's called the Day Case Rally, and that's because we're all old gits and are often day cases at hospitals, and that very much applies to me almost on a monthly basis. But it's all good. It stems from a time, some time ago, when the Sussex branch, I think it was, the East Sussex branch of the AJS Matchless Owners Club, used to organise a charity run every year over to France, and allowed anybody to stomp up some money and attend, as long as they were on a classic British motorcycle. And there's still quite a few of those people about, and it eventually morphed into what we term this Day Case Rally, with a bit of a camping weekend in somewhere in northern France. And there's a few of us getting together this year for probably the last one. So I'll be taking the old motorhome with a trailer, taking them and a bike on to go across the channel. And I'm not sure which bike to take yet. Probably the B25 SS, because that'll be the easiest to do. It's pretty reliable, probably, and it's easy to start, probably. So we'll see how that goes. I'd like to do Founders Day again. I really enjoy that, and can't remember the date off the top of my head, but it's in July, I think. So I think I'll be about for that. There's the Trident Rocket 3 Owners Club Bees Up Rally. I'd like to go to that, not sure if I'm going to go. And then we get into events, you know, towards the end of the year. So I won't be doing Stafford in October, but I'll probably be doing the NEC Classic Motor Show again, supporting the BSA Owners Club stand. And then in between that, we'll be doing, you know, the usual videos of maintenance and projects on the bike, but also we'll get the old GoPro strapped on and try to get some shots of the bikes being ridden on the road. And so I'd like to do that certainly with the Aerial 3, with something we've got lined up. And whenever we've got the opportunity, like the B25 SS, if I take that to France, we'll get some footage then of ride-outs with other like-minded folk. And there's also as well the Oakley in Bedfordshire weekly bike night, which we went to last year on the Rocket 3 with fellow Trident Rocket 3 owners, and that was a great night out actually, so I'd like to do that again. And finally, I'm going to do a follow-up video of trying to find the model that we all know of, Karen Young, on the BSA Fury. We think, well, we're no further forward in being able to locate her, and the problem is that she's always mixed up with the actress Karen Young, and I'm sure they're not the same two people. But I'll do a follow-up video of that, because we have got a bit more information on both sides of the fence, with the help of friends and fellow enthusiasts in this community, so thanks very much for that. Right, I'll leave it there for now, and what I'll do tomorrow is get a few shots when the old Bonneville is out of the garage and is about to go on its way, and then we'll use that basically as the kick-off for this year. Right, I'll be back tomorrow and we'll do a bit of a roundup then. Next morning, the Bonnie's just about to come off the bench. Drained it of fuel, done some checks around, etc. Put all the documentation together. So here we go. This is the bit I hate, so I ain't going to film this, getting it off the stand on the slippery stuff, etc, etc. We'll get it done, just hope we don't drop it. And there she is, in the light of day. A very presentable, usable bike. Remember, this wasn't a full restoration by any means, and there's a few bits and pieces that can be tidied up as Greg uses it. But as I say, a very, very presentable, usable, pretty rare classic. Chrome on the engine case is a bit better this side, but yeah, she doesn't look bad. Right, do a few checks around again, just do the tyre pressures, and then I'm probably going to put the Rocket 3 up on the bench, and that'll be the first thing we service, and then we'll get on to the Fury once we've got a runner ready for spring. That's better. Tidied up, no end. The garage door's shut again. It doesn't get open, that left-hand door from this side very often, but all secure. Rocket 3 on the bench, and I cleaned the bench down before I put the bike on it. Hasn't been that clean in donkey's years. And with the ramp at the back, which is, you know, a pretty steep thing, I thought I might have a bit of a problem really, which is why I cleaned it all down first, so the wheels didn't slip away from me as I was going up. No, it was a piece of cake. So yeah, chuffed with myself really. So yeah, a lot tidier. Got some space now. Ooh, maybe more bikes. I actually started tidying up the bench as well. It doesn't look much, but we've got a bit of space there now, and there's a few things to sort out. Right, if we, whoopsie daisy, nearly fell over. We nip outside. And there we are. There's the kit ready to go to New Zealand, due to be picked up in the next couple of hours. And there we are. Right, we'll leave it there, everyone, with a shot of the Bonnie. And I'll see you all again in March, when hopefully spring will be here after my break. So thanks very much for watching, everybody. Thanks for your subscriptions and any subscriptions, continued interest, etc., as it's been a bit lean over the last 2 months. We'll be back again revived and get stuck in March, and we'll get on with the get the Rocket 3 on the road, and then we'll follow that up with the Fury and then the B25 SS. Cheers, everyone. Bye bye.